Good morning, everyone. Welcome to lesson 15.2 in our math series. Today we are going to be making halves and fourths. Those are fraction words. Remember, we talked about equal shares and parts, and the mathematical word for that is fraction. Fraction means a part, okay? All right, here we go. Everybody have page 613 out? Here we go. Draw a line inside the circle to show two equal shares. Okay, we're going to do that part first. And I'm just going to do my standard line right down the middle, okay? Does that show two equal shares? Yeah, pretty much. Here we go. Color one of the shares, or one part. Okay, and I'm going to use my special scribble technique. I love that. Did I color one of those shares? I sure did. Okay, now we're going to go down to the next direction. Draw lines inside the rectangle to show four equal shares. And then the second direction, color two of the shares. Okay, so let's just do the standard. We're going to go across the middle and down from the top. Do I have four equal shares? Yeah, now we're going to color two of them. All right, and using my special technique, I'm just going to scribble those in. Did I scribble in two of the shares? Yes. Two of my shares, and on this side we have one. So on your paper, I colored blank out of blank equal shares. Well, how many shares are there? There are two, but I colored one. So you're going to write this on your paper. I colored one out of two shares. I colored two out of four equal shares. Good job. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next page, okay? This is just the first part about making fractions. All right, now we're going to watch the next page here. Let's turn your page to 614. You can divide shapes into halves and fourths. This is half. These are fourths. See where the 4 is? And 2 is half. The circle is divided into halves. Half of the circle is yellow. This rectangle is divided into halves. When I take two halves and put them together, I get one whole object, or one whole shape. This circle is divided into fourths or quarters. Now here's that name again, quarters. Remember, $1 is worth 1. When we divide $1 into 4 parts, we have 4 quarters. The clock, each 15 minutes is a quarter. And a fourth is also known as a quarter. All right? 1/4 of this circle is blue. And remember, a quarter is also called 1/4. All right, now let's look at this last one. Half of the rectangle is green. 1/4 of the rectangle is yellow. And 1/4 of the rectangle is orange. Do you see how 1/2? 2 out of the 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, so half of it is green. Even though they tried to trick us by going diagonally, 1/4 of it is yellow, and 1/4, or a quarter, is orange, okay? Remember, half means there are 2 parts. Quarter is a fourth. Those 2 words mean the same thing, quarter and fourth. Now let's look at this rectangle here. What share of the rectangle is green? All right, one part is green. So we have one part out of how many? Out of 4. Okay, now I'm going to show you something very special. You have seen fractions for a long time. You just might not have known what you were looking at, okay? Now first I'm going to show you half. Have you ever seen something that looks like that? Or some people write it like this, okay? We're going to stick with this way, okay? All right, one part out of 2 is called half. Okay, there's 1/2. All right, the other one, our rectangle that we did, we had 2 parts out of 4. Do you remember that? So 2, and this line kind of says the words out of. 2 out of 4. Now I'm going to just make it a 1 so I can tell you what that word is. 1 over 4, there's a word for that. That's called a fourth. Okay? And you probably can't see that. Do you see it now? Fourth. So this is a half, and this is a fourth. So when you would see that terminology or those numbers, you would say it like this, 1/4. All right? Okay, we're going to keep on going. Here we go. Number 1. Which one of these shapes has 1/4 blue? Now remember we talked, this is a fourth, but it's also a quarter. Remember, those words mean the same thing, fourth and quarter. All right, here we go. Does this one show 1/4 or 1/4? No, that one shows a half. Half of that shape is blue. What about this? No, that shows me the number 1. The whole thing is a 1. What about this one? Absolutely, 1/4 of that is blue, and 1/4 of that is blue. All right, which one down here is 1/2 yellow? Half of it is yellow. Very good. Thank you, Jersey. I love that you got up early today and did your math. Wow, half of that is yellow. Is half of this shape yellow? No, those aren't even equal parts. No, no, no. What about this? No, that one is a quarter yellow. What about the square? Does that show a half? Does it show a quarter? Good job, Luke. Thank you. It shows half of it is yellow. Good job. All right, now the next page. You are going to color these shapes 1/2 red. Okay, now remember, half is pretty easy. You just cut it in half and do one side red. 1/4 is orange. Oh, remember, 1/4 means 1 part out of the 4. That's actually what that means. 1 part out of 4 is a fourth. 1/4. Remember, quarter is still a fourth, so 1 out of 4. And this one is 1 out of 2, half of it. All right? You may do the higher order level of thinking. You may do the back, but you for sure have to do number 11, okay? Now, I'm going to go on and show you something else that's really cool about fractions, okay? We're still going to be working with halves and fourths, but I'm going to show you some other things. All right. Can you see my pizza here? And I'm going to try to zoom in just a little bit. All right. Do you see there's a number on here? That means that's a whole, okay? I'm going to have to write up here, so bear with me just for a moment. This one, if it is the number 1, it does not have any, the number 1 means it's whole, not a hole in the ground, but the whole thing. The number 1, it's a whole number. It's not cut in half, is it? This is a 1. That is not cut in half, is it? There's no cuts to it. It is the whole pizza. Okay, now we're going to do some fractions. I would like to cut my pizza in half. So how much is a half? And I'm going to write a half up there. Do you see that? Good job. The bottom number means how many pieces do I need to slice? I need to cut it into 2 equal slices. Did I do that? Yes. Now can you see the fraction? This piece is worth 1 out of 2 pieces. Okay? That is a half. Okay? 2 halves equal 1 whole. All right? Now we're going to go to another one. I'm going to show you the fourths. We're going to cut that same pizza into fourths. And do you remember what the fraction 1/4 looks like? It's going to be 1/4, okay, which is also a quarter. Here we go. So, Maddox, how many pieces would be in fourths? The pizza needs to be in 4 slices. Now, I'm going to pull them apart just a little bit so you can see that they're cut. But if I squished them all together, they would equal my whole pizza, okay? I'm taking 1 whole pizza and I'm dividing it into fourths. Okay, does everybody see that? So this slice right here is worth 1/4 of my pizza. What if I wanted 2? How much would this be worth? It would be 2/4 with a TH. Okay, now, I want you to look up here at the 1/2 and the 1/4. Which one is bigger? Now, every time I ask this question, and I say, if you were going to eat pizza, and you could have a 1/2 of a pizza or a 1/4 of a pizza, which would you prefer? Now, how many of you say the 1/4 is bigger? Yeah, the 4 is bigger, but look at the piece. It's 1/4. That means there's 4 pieces. But on this pizza, there's 2 pieces. Which would you rather have? A 1/4 or a 1/2? Well, if I was really hungry, I'd rather have the 1/2. Whatever number's on the bottom, the higher the number goes, the smaller the pieces. Okay, so 1/2, it goes from 1, and then we cut it in half. That's the first fraction. Now, I'm going to take down the 1/2, and I'm going to put up thirds. What if I cut my pizza into thirds? That means my pizza has 3 parts. Would you rather have a 1/3 or a 1/4? Well, we can compare them. Look at this. We're going to put the 1/4 right on top. Ooh, 1/3 is still bigger. So it goes 1/2, 1/3, 1/4. We're going to skip a 5th. But I'm going to go to 6s. I'm going to get rid of this pizza just for a moment. And I am going to make my pizza into 6s, okay? Now this one has thirds. What if I cut each one of these again? Let's count by twos. 2, 4, 6. All right, here we go. And I just happen to have a pizza that already is cut into 6s. 3 plus 3 is 6, isn't it? That means 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would you rather have a 6 or a third? A sixth with a TH or a third? Yes, a third is bigger than the 6s, okay? Now, do you see how 2 of those are going to fit exactly perfectly on my number, on my thirds? Okay, now I'm going to go back to the fourths. I think you're going to find this very interesting. I'm going to start with my halves. Now, what happens if I cut my half in half again? And I cut it this way. What am I going to get? I am going to get fourths. Okay, so I'm going to put the fourths right on top of my half. All right? Do you see that? 1/2 is still equal to 2 over 4. Now, what if I cut each one of those in half? What would that be? They would be 8ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If my pizza was cut all the way around, I would have 8 slices. Now I'm going to cover up the half. How many 8ths with a TH are in 1/2? 1, 2, 3, 4. And look what happens when I write 4 over 8. I'm going to take this down. 4 over 8. Do you see a fraction that you already know? 4 plus 4 is 8. If I have 2 fourths, yeah, 2 plus 2 is 4. Those are still halves. Isn't that pretty cool? I love fractions. Please come back and visit me tomorrow, and we're going to still work on more. Love you. Bye-bye.